The Indian Air Force IAF Chief, Air Chief Marshal AP Singh, confirmed that India shot down 6 Pakistani aircraft during Operation Sindoor. These numbers are of aerial hits and don't include jets stuck on the ground. He said, "We have at least 5 fighters confirmed kills and 1 large aircraft, which could be either an ELINT, electronic intelligence, or an AEW&C, Airborne Warning and Control System aircraft, which was taken on at a distance of about 300 kilometers or 186 miles. This is the largest ever recorded surface-to-air kill that we can talk about." He further said, "The S-400 system, which we recently bought, has been a game changer. The range of that system has really kept their aircraft away from their weapons, like those long-range glide bombs that they have. They have not been able to use any one of those because they have not been able to penetrate the system." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how the Russian S-400 wrecked the PAF during Operation Sindoor. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. In an exclusive interview with ANI, military aviation author, historian, and journalist Tom Cooper said, "It is a confirmation of something more or less known since May." Cooper added, "We have seen evidence of not only 5, but even more Pakistani aircraft being shot down. We have also seen evidence for even more Pakistani aircraft being destroyed on the ground. But there was no official confirmation from the Indian Air Force, not even from the government of India, till now. Therefore, this is a nice confirmation for something that was assessed already back in May." Cooper also mentioned 2 key aspects regarding the long-range kill. He noted that the Indian Air Force deployed S-400 close to the border with Pakistan, which could have put it at risk of attack by Pakistani Army artillery shelling. So this was a risky operation. The second point is that the Air Defense Unit detected the presence of AWACS aircraft of the Pakistani Air Force over 300 kilometers on its own. He noted that S-400 launched its missile, which flew along a ballistic trajectory in order to stretch its range. These missiles, which are very big, probably flew along with other surface-to-surface missiles fired by India. Cooper noted that sometime after videos appeared of something, it was actually aircraft wreckage burning on the ground, and Pakistani police and armed forces servicemen moved to the area. So obviously something was shot down. It is probably a Saab 2000, which would be logical, a highly important target at that point in time, because Saab 2000s were guiding the operations of the Pakistani Air Force and detecting operations of the Indian Air Force. He explained that while a Russian A-50 was shot down by a long-range strike over the Azov Sea, the Saab 2000 is much more advanced, smaller, and has much more powerful electronic countermeasures. He added, "This was a painful blow for the Pakistani Air Force. And finally, when one loses such an aircraft this deep within its own airspace, as happened to Pakistan in this case, one should keep in mind that this is shocking for the entire Air Force and forces it to become conservative and extremely cautious in the way it operates. This is what has been mirrored in the way the Pakistani Air Force was operating over the next 2 days of this war." Viewers may note that PAF was almost grounded thereafter. Cooper said, "It is the longest range confirmed shoot-down by a surface-to-air missile. This is a historic achievement." On October 5, 2018, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin finalized a $5.5 billion deal for the S-400 Triumf air defense system during the India-Russia annual summit in New Delhi. Under the agreement, India is to receive 5 S-400 regiments. As of now, 3 have been delivered and are operational, while the remaining 2 are expected by 2026, after delays linked to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. A full S-400 regiment usually has 2 battalions, sometimes called divisions in Russian terminology. Each battalion typically has 8 launchers, and each launcher carries 4 missiles ready to fire. Capable of tracking hundreds of targets simultaneously, the S-400 can engage up to 36 of them at once, using 72 missiles. Depending on the threat, it employs different radar types to optimize detection and engagement. The primary radar used is either the 91N6E Big Bird Acquisition and Battle Management Radar, or the 92N6E Gravestone Multimode Engagement Radar, both with a range of about 600 kilometers, 370 miles. These are supplemented by target acquisition radars such as the 67N6 Gamma DE, some of which can detect stealth aircraft. The S-400 also employs multiple missile types to cover its full engagement envelope. For example, for short to medium range engagement, it has 9M96E with a range of 40 kilometers or 25 miles that has a maximum speed of Mach 2.6, and 9M96E2 with a range of 120 kilometers or 75 miles that has a maximum speed of Mach 3. For long to ultra-long range interception, it has 48N6 with a range of 250 kilometers or 155 miles that has a speed of Mach 14, and 40N6 with a range of 400 kilometers or 250 miles that has a speed of Mach 14. PAF doesn't have any stealth aircraft in its inventory. In this situation, S-400 is a scary system. This problem is compounded by Pakistan's geography, which has limited strategic depth, and most of its air bases are within the strike envelope of S-400. So just as the PAF jets take to the sky, they get detected and are vulnerable to being taken down. PAF knew that S-400 prevented it from carrying out strike operations and launched an extensive SEAD campaign to neutralize it. The service targeted the S-400 regiment in Adampur Air Base in Punjab, which is around 100 kilometers, 62 miles from the border, with multiple saturation strikes but failed to inflict any damage. The fact is that Pakistanis had a good idea about the capabilities of S-400, given that its friends Turkey and China both have this system, but it didn't help. It is unclear which fighter were taken out. PAF has J-10 Vigorous Dragon, JF-17 Thunder, F-16 Fighting Falcon, Mirage 3, Mirage 5, and F-7. When it comes to the record-breaking long-range strike, it is likely that 40N6 was used against Saab 2000 Arii AEW&C aircraft. The 40N6 missile is not just another missile, but is the most potent interceptor of the S-400, not only because of its range but also because of an important characteristic. The flight profile of the missile is unlike that of a regular surface-to-air missile. The missile is designed to reach a very high altitude of 37 kilometers or 23 miles, and then descend to the target from that altitude like a ballistic missile. Since the missile follows a ballistic trajectory, its active radar homing head illuminates the target aircraft from above at an angle, rendering even stealthy aircraft much more discernible. The missile also picks up speed on the dive like an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, as opposed to regular surface-to-air missiles that lose speed in the final leg, making it hard to evade. For a slow-moving, non-stealthy Saab 2000 Arii, chances of survival were limited. It is evident that till PAF acquires a decent number of stealth aircraft, it will be at a massive disadvantage. It is important to note that IAF is seeking 2 additional S-400 or S-500 batteries post-Operation Sindoor, clearly indicating that the system was very effective.